Hello everyone, welcome to e-learning of IT for 12th standard. In last sessions, we were discussing CSS. We have seen three different types of CSS. First one is inline style sheet, second one is embedded, and the third is external style sheet. In case of inline style sheet, style is used as an attribute within the tag to which you want to provide a styling effect. For embedded, we were using style as a tag, and style tag start and style tag end contains the styling details. And in external CSS, the separate CSS file is created with extension .css, and we link that CSS file to our HTML document. In this way, we can use the CSS. So let us move to the new topic, that is CSS selectors. So what is use of CSS selectors? See, in embedded or external style sheet, to provide a styling to a particular HTML element, we were using this syntax. This is the syntax of CSS, right? So H1 is nothing but a tag name. So here it is in case of CSS, it is used as a selector. After that, curly bracket open and close, and within a curly bracket, it contains a declaration block. That means a property colon value, and to separate one or more property values, we use a semicolon in between. So instead of using h1, h2 or p, that is HTML tag name, as a selector, you can have four different types of selectors. The first one is ID selector, second is class selector, third is universal selector, and the fourth one is group selector. ID selector is used with a symbol hash. Class selector is used with a dot or period, or we can say full stop symbol. Universal selector indicated with a star symbol, asterisk symbol. Group selector means you can provide a styling to multiple HTML elements, more than one HTML elements, by separating them with the comma. See here H1, H2 and P. These are three different selectors, and we have separated those three elements by a comma in between them. In this way we can have a group selector. So let us see first type of selector, that is CSS ID selector. See, ID attribute of HTML is used to select specific HTML element. That means, suppose in your web document there are two different paragraph tags, that is P tags. Then how to identify one P tag from them? So you can identify such a specific element by the help of, or with the help of, ID attribute of it, because ID is a unique identification of every HTML element. So ID is always unique within the page. No same ID name can be applied to different HTML elements. Every HTML element has a separate ID. It is separate identification. It is written with a hash character followed by the ID name. That is, to write the styling effect with the help of ID selector, we have to use a hash character or hash symbol, and after that the name of ID. So let us write a program using ID selector to provide a styling effect, so that you will come to know how actually this hash character is written and how we specify the ID name. So for that we can write a program for a embedded style sheet or external style sheet, because in inline style sheet the style is used as an attribute within the HTML element itself, and that's why we can use such a selectors with embedded or external style sheet. So let us write a program. To write a program, open a notepad and start writing a code. So first doc type HTML. After that HTML tag start and end of HTML. Within HTML tag add a header tag, that is head tag. Then close head tag. Within a head tag, you can add a title tag. Title tag start and end of title tag. Here you can provide any title, suppose ID selector. Now after head tag, add a body tag. So body tag start and end of body tag. Within a body tag, you can add any HTML elements, HTML tags that you want. Suppose we added a tag as H1. H1 and end of H1. Provide here any meaningful heading for this web page. Suppose example using ID selector. Example using ID selector. Now add one more tag. Suppose P tag start and end of P. This is paragraph tag. Add some text here. Suppose this is first paragraph. This is first paragraph. And add one more P tag, that is P and end of P. And within this, suppose we write this is second paragraph. You can add any another text over here within a P tag. Now to provide styling to this element H1 P tag and this P tag, for embedded style sheet we add a style tag within a head tag. So before head tag close, we will add a style tag start and style tag end. Within a style tag, now we can provide a styling to this. So instead of using ID selector, if we write a program traditionally by using a embedded style sheet, we use a selector as a tag name. So see here, suppose H1, for H1 we will write suppose color colon red. It is color of text for H1 content written in H1 tag will be red. Now for P tag, suppose we write like this P tag color colon blue. Now see, content written in H1 tag will be having red color and content written in P tag will be having blue color. Now save the program. ID selector .html. Save the program at your folder and execute it. See, until now we have not used ID selector. We were using traditional embedded style sheet. Run the program of ID selector. See here, color of heading is red and color of both paragraph tags are in blue color. Now if you want to identify this P tag uniquely, suppose I want to have a red color for this first paragraph only, then you can do so with the help of ID selector. So for that you have to provide ID name within this P tag. So suppose ID is equal to provide any meaningful ID name. Suppose para1. Then to provide styling to this paragraph by using ID selector, here instead of having a selector as a HTML element, you have to use a hash symbol to denote that it is a ID selector. After that, ID name should be there. See, it is the ID name, that is para1. So provide ID name here, para1. Now for this P tag, that is first paragraph tag only, the color will be applied as a blue. Now save the program and execute it. See here, only first paragraph text is in a blue color now. So in this way you can use a ID selector. If you want to have any another styling effect here, you can provide so. Suppose text align colon center. Then your text will be at the center for first paragraph. In this way you can identify any HTML element or HTML tag uniquely by using a ID selector. You can provide styling to this H1 tag also by using ID selector. Suppose ID is equal to head. ID is equal to head. Then here you have to provide for ID symbol uses hash, after that head, and then save the program and execute it. Head is the, here we have is a double quote. So again save the program and try to execute it. So see here color has been now red. Now if you want to have this text at the middle of the screen, again text align can be provided as a center. See, this text can be at the center of the screen. So in this way you can identify the every HTML element uniquely by using the ID selector. So basically for ID selector, what we have to do, write HTML program as it is, and then you can use either embedded style sheet or external style sheet. Then provide every HTML element with the ID attribute, provide any meaningful ID name, and use that ID name preceded with a hash character, and within that you can provide a styling effect. So in this way you can use ID selector. Now let us move to the second selector. So second selector is a class selector. Now class selector is used to apply a styling to a group of HTML elements. That is, it selects HTML elements with a specific class attribute. In the same way we have added a ID attribute, you can add a class attribute within a HTML tag. And then that class attribute is used to change a group of elements within the HTML page. You can provide the same class name to different HTML elements, and so that you can change different elements simultaneously within the page with the help of this class attribute. As like ID attribute used with a hash character, class selector is used with a dot character, or it is a period character or full stop. Class name should not start with a number. That is, your class name should always start with any alphabet, not a number. Now let us write a program using class selector. So for that, again go to a notepad and open new window. Here doc type HTML. After that HTML tag start and end of HTML. Within HTML tag add a head tag start and end of head tag. Within head tag add a title to this page. Suppose title is class selector. Class selector. Now after head tag add a body tag. Within a body tag start and end, add the HTML element. Suppose we add element as h1, end of h1. Provide meaningful heading here. Example using class selector. Example using class selector. Now let us add a p tag start and p tag end. Within this p tag add any meaningful text. Suppose it is used with dot symbol. It is used with dot symbol. If we add one more tag here, suppose h2 and end of h2. Within h2 tag add another heading, second level heading. Suppose second type of selector. Second type of selector. So in this way you can add any more tags here. Now to provide styling for this, we have to go to the in a head tag. Within a head tag we have to add a style tag. So style tag start and end of style tag. Within this you can add a styling details. This is an embedded type of style sheet using a class selector. So for that, see here, to provide a styling we have to use a class selector. So for class you have to add a class attribute. Suppose within a h2 we add a class attribute. Class is equal to provide any meaningful class name here. It should start with any alphabet. So suppose we add a C1, name as a C1. For p tag also add a class is equal to, suppose, C1. See, class attribute can have same name, same value for each attribute. So in this way we have to provide styling to this using this class attribute. See here, class name is a C1. So you have to use C1 here. And symbol used for class selector is dot. So provide dot. After that C1 curly bracket open and close. Within curly brackets now we can add a styling effect. For second level heading and p tag we are adding a styling effect. So suppose text color is color colon blue and text align colon center. Text align is center. Now save the program. Give a name to this file. Suppose class selector .html. Now save the program and try to execute it. Run class selector file. This is a class selector. See example using class selector. This is heading. We have not provided a styling to this h1 tag. That's why this text is as it is. Now for h2 tag and p tag we have provided same styling, that is center align and text color is blue. So same effect has been applied to both of these tags, that is h2 tag and p tag. So in this way you can provide styling using a class attribute. In this way we can provide a styling to the different HTML elements or multiple HTML elements by using a class attribute. Now if we want to have a styling effect to h1 using class also, then provide class attribute here. Class is equal to and provide a class name, suppose C2. Then add a styling effect for it. So dot, after dot C2 curly bracket open and close. Now suppose color colon red, border colon dotted, and save the program. Now we can see here border is applied and text color is red. We can have this text also at the middle. For that Provide here text align colon center. Save the program and execute it. See here, in this way we can apply styling to different HTML elements using class attribute. Using class attribute also, if the name is same for the two or more HTML elements and you want to provide a styling to a particular HTML tag, then you can do so by using attribute, that is, suppose here C1 is the class name applied to H2 tag as well as P tag. Now if suppose we want to have effect for a P tag only, then here you can use C1, that is our class name, dot our tag name is here P tag dot C1 and save the program and try to execute it. Now see, effect has been now applied to the P tag only, even if the name for class name is same for these both, that is H2 tag and P tag. So in this way you can use a class selector. Now let us move to the next type, third type of selector, that is universal selector. It selects all HTML elements on the web page. That is, no any particular element or group of elements will be selected, but instead of that, all HTML elements present on your web page will be selected by default. It is used as a wildcard character and it is used with a asterisk character, that is star symbol. So all elements will be selected by default. So let us write a program using universal selector. For that, again document type is HTML. After that, HTML tag start and end of HTML. Within HTML tag, add a head tag start and end of head tag. Within head, add a title and end of title. Provide title here, suppose universal selector. Now after head tag, open a body tag start and end of body tag. Within a body tag, add HTML tags or elements. Suppose H1 tag start and end of H1. Add here code heading. Suppose example using universal selector. Now add some more tags here. Suppose H2 tag start and end of H2 tag within second level heading. This is third type of selector. Then add P tag start and end of P tag. Suppose this is used with star symbol. In this way we have added three different tags here. Now to provide styling to this, within a head tag add a style tag, because we are using embedded style. End of style. Within a style tag start and end, add for universal selector symbol use is star. So after start, curly bracket start and close. Within this, add a styling effects that you want to all HTML elements, that is H1, H2 and P. Suppose text align colon center. After that, color colon blue, color colon blue. Suppose font style colon italic and save the program. Now provide a name to this file, universal.html. Save the program and execute it. Universal. See, the styling effect that we have provided is applied to all HTML elements present on this web page. If we suppose add a border within this, suppose border colon dash, save and again execute. Now you can see border has been applied to all the tags on this page. That is for body tag, for H1, for H2, for P. In this way, we can see the style that you will provide within this curly bracket start and close for universal selector that will be applied to all the HTML elements present within the page. So in this way you can use a universal selector. Now let us move to the last type of selector, and it is a group selector, CSS group selector. It is generally used to select all elements with the same style definition. That is, suppose you want to provide a same styling to the P tag and H2 tag, then there is no need to write the same styling effects within the two different tags. So instead of that, you can group all such elements to which we want to provide a same style definitions, and in this way you can minimize the code. So to separate the different HTML elements, we can use a commas in between them. That is, commas are used to separate each selector in the grouping. So let us write a program using that selector. So see here, we will save this program and we will edit this program for a group selector. So suppose group selector. So group.html. Such a separate file is created. So provide here title as a group selector. After that, here we want to provide a styling. Okay. So star symbol is used for universal selector, and now we are using a group selector. For group selector, first edit the HTML elements. Here example using group selector. Example is using group selector. This is fourth type of selector. Okay, and here no any symbol is used, but instead of that, what is used? Commas are used to separate elements. Commas are used to separate the elements. Now here the tags used are H1, H2 and P. We can provide styling to those by separating them with a comma. So H1, H2 and P. Now save this program. No any other changes needed over here. So save this program. That program we have already saved by using a save as, right? So check here, group name file is created over here. So run this file and you can see the effect is applied to this. This is a group selector program and this was a universal selector program. Okay, now you can change properties here as well. Suppose color is pink, no any border is needed, then you can remove it. Save the program and again execute it. So you can see the output. If we change a color, suppose green, again You can check the output here. In this way, group selector can be used. Only selectors are separated with a comma. After that, curly bracket open and close and provide the styling effects. So in this way, you can use 4 different types of selectors, that is ID selector, class selector, then universal selector and group selector. For ID selector is used to identify each HTML element uniquely. That is, it is used with a hash symbol. Class selector, using class selector, you can group or you can provide styling to the group of HTML elements. It is used with a dot symbol. And for universal selector, all elements present on your screen will be selected and it uses a star symbol. For group selector, you have to separate the HTML elements by using a commas in between them. So until now we have seen how to write a CSS using 4 different selectors, but that is by using a embedded style sheet. Now if suppose you want to write external style sheet, then for that the code written in this style tag start and end, that we have to write in a separate file. Okay, so suppose write a program for this as an external CSS, then copy this file, then after that open a new document, paste that file. See here, it is a CSS file, so it contains only styling elements, no any HTML tag will be there. This is a CSS file, so give a name to it, suppose group CSS dot CSS. It should be with the extension dot CSS. Now save this file. Now we have to link this file to our HTML file, that is a group file. Open it with a notepad. This is our traditional program. So see code written in this style tag, that is now separated in a different file, that is in separate CSS file. Now to link that CSS file, that is this file, to our group file, we have to add a tag, that is link tag here. So link rel is equal to relation is style sheet. Relation is style sheet. After that type is equal to, here type means a type of document. It is having a text and CSS element. So text slash CSS. After that, to provide a path of file, we use attribute, that is href. Href is equal to provide a file name. We have given a file name of this CSS as a group CSS, and these both files are at the same location. Okay, group and group CSS, and that's why you can provide a name only here, that is group CSS dot CSS. Now save this file and try to execute the program again. See, you can see here output is saved. If you want to check whether this CSS is working or not, you can change properties here. Suppose color is red. Then again run the file, you can see now this effect is being applied from this external CSS file that we have linked in our group file. So in same way you can change the program for ID selector, class selector and universal selector as well. Just you have to separate styling details in a separate CSS file and to provide a link of that file in this way. Within a head tag you have to add a link tag for that. So in this way you can use the 4 different types of selectors: ID, class, universal and group selector. So try to write a program for these 4 selectors using embedded and external style sheet. And note down these programs in your notebook. and try to understand this concept. Okay, thank you.